That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
Want to know what's crazy? I didn't even have this in the title for this video. I didn't even have this in the title for the video. But looking at that drop just reminded me, I'm on your head. I'm on your head, bro. Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris, the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. I am on your head, sir. I'm on your head top, bro. The stats are for losers things. Well, your boy Kyle Pitts is weak. He still ain't running the full route. Kyle Pitts is still not running the full route. He's still giving up before the full route is done. Hold on, I got up Office drummer stream in the background. But your boy Kyle Pitts, he running full speed into the ball coming. When he see the ball not near him, he just stop running. Where did they do that at? Ain't you supposed to be the highest drafted tight end in NFL history? Didn't people go on rants for months and months and months after you were drafted saying they should have took Justin Fields? The Atlanta Falcons, of course, when I say they. Aren't you the one where people you know what I'm saying, they played on your name because you had Desmond Ritter and Marcus Mariota as your quarterbacks the first couple seasons of your career? Weren't you the one with something to prove to tell these people that you were different and you lived up to the hype of being the unicorn and everything that Kyle Pitts is supposed to be? Brother, I don't know what's going on off the field. I don't know if it's some family stuff. I don't know what's in your mind. But right now, you're looking like the football Ben Simmons. You're looking like the Ben Simmons of the NFL, my brother. And I say that because it's like you look lazy out there. When you don't finish the routes, you look lazy. You look like you don't want to play football half the time. And it's a shame because you have the physical specimen and you have the talent, the athleticism, the wherewithal, whatever you want to say, to be a successful football player. And not only that, to be one of the best tight ends to ever play the game. And God bless you with those talents, and you were paying them by giving half effort every week, every single week, bro. What is we doing? That's my first thing. Kyle Pitts on the stats is loser. That's for Coach Raheem Morris. Second thing, Kirk Cousins is not your fault. It's not your fault. When the Falcons brought Kirk Cousins in, the Falcons knew what the deal was, or at least the people who watch football knew what the deal was. You bringing in a guy on the other side of 30, coming off a Achilles injury. You don't get better with age. Injuries don't get better the older you get. That's just a spoiler alert for anybody. The older you get in life, injuries do not get better. They only get worse. So you come in post Achilles on the other side of your 30s, on the other side of your prime, and you come in here, okay, yes, off top on paper, you're going to be at best a mediocre quarterback, middle of the league quarterback. That's fine. That's a step up from Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ritter. But then, when you start to tail off and you start to throw picks over the past 3 weeks, I believe Kirk Cousins has thrown 0 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Okay, that is what it is. I'm not surprised as a post 30-year-old, right? On the other side of Achilles injury. And what I'm saying, even in his prime, at best, was just um upper half of the middle of the best NFL starting quarterbacks in the league, because he could lead a team to a winning record. He could lead a team to the playoffs, but he just quite couldn't get it done in the biggest games, in the biggest moments. Now, that's fine. I'm not disappointed in Kirk Cousins' performance because this is kind of what we all expected when they signed Kirk Cousins. They, once again, alluding to the Atlanta Falcons. What I am disappointed in, however, is the draft position of these guys, man. You took Kyle Pitts, number 4. You took Drake London, number 8. Drake London is paying off. You took Bijan Robinson. I don't know what pick Bijan was. Was he number 7 or was he like number? Hold on, let me look this up real quick. Let me see what number Bijan was. Bijan Robinson draft 8th. So you take Drake London eighth, you take Bijan Robinson eighth, you take Kyle Pitts number 4, and Bijan so far he has flashes where he looks like a decent running back, one of the better running backs in the league. I believe he's leading the league this year in rushing yards from scrimmage this year. Second is Alvin Kamara, and third is Saquon Barkley, or most games with the rushing game. It was some specific stat like that Bijan Robinson's leading in. Drake London looks like a very, very good get. You know, he's just an above average big receiver, uses athleticism and his height and his size to his advantage each and every single time. That Kyle Pitts dude, we already said what it was with him. But you draft these skill players. I even forgot where I was going with this. But you draft these skills players, and then you draft this year Michael Penix Jr. Okay, you got the quarterback you say what you want for the future that fits the identity of the city of Atlanta. That's beautiful. That's perfect. He wearing the do-rag every time. He don't take the do-rag off. I never seen Michael Penix without his do-rag. I don't know how far back his hairline goes because he always has his do-rag on. Had his do-rag on, it felt like at the draft. No. He had his do-rag off at the draft. That's the time I saw it without his do-rag and the press conference with the suit on. But every other time he's had his do-rag on. So you bring in Michael Penix Jr. Okay, for the future, Kirk Cousins, the quarterback for now. Michael Penix Jr., the quarterback of the future. And you got two quality options at quarterback. So Penix comes in first game of the season, first preseason game of the season. I think he did one drive, or he played maybe a series or two, right? Maybe the first half at the most in Miami, and they shut him down. He's not playing the rest of the preseason. Joker, if Kirk Cousins is your quarterback, why is he not playing? Especially if Kirk Cousins is 30 something on the other side of 30 coming off an Achilles injury. What I'm thinking is Kirk Cousins by the middle of the year his body gonna start breaking down, and he won't be able to perform the way that Kirk Cousins level. And that's when you put in Penix. But Raheem Morris decided not to play Penix in the preseason. He decided not to play him in times where Kirk was struggling in the season. One time, Kirk threw a couple interceptions. The Falcons were down a couple of touchdowns. There was only 2 minutes left in the game. Penix comes in. He throws one pass. He completes one pass. The rest of the time, he's handing the ball off. I think Penix got into another game at the end of the game of a blowout again. It was kind of pretty much more of the same. In today's game, the day that I'm recording this, it was December 1st. This Joker throws 4 picks and a pick 6. The pick 6 was floating in the air so long, anybody could have grabbed it. It was heads up, 7 up. It was you grab the ball. It was the pop the balloon shot, whatever the case was. The ball was floating up in the air so long, it just landed in the arm basket of the defender, and he ran all the way. Joker only had like 3 interceptions all season, and 2 of them came in the game against the Atlanta Falcons, bro. December 1st. Once again, this is not on you, Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, the Atlanta Falcons knew what they were getting in Kirk Cousins when they signed Kirk Cousins. This is on Raheem Morris. I don't know if Terry Fontenot, Arthur Blank, someone up there is telling, don't play the boy. Don't play Penix. Don't play Penix. Keep Penix on the low. See, because it's one thing for Jordan Love to learn from Aaron Rodgers, and it's another thing for Aaron Rodgers to learn from Brett Favre. Kirk Cousins ain't that. All due respect, he's not that. Put Penix in, because now you done lost how many games in a row the Falcons done lost? 3, maybe 4 games in a row the Falcons have lost at this point. Now your large division lead has turned into a tie with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the New Orleans Saints are right there behind them. And if the Saints want to try to push or try to win and try to win with class or whatever. There, I don't know what the Saints are on. It seemed like the fans want them to tank. Fans been wanting them to tank, and the Saints players got too much pride. And Rizzy is fighting for his own job. He's trying to get his job for next season somewhere if it ain't in New Orleans. So you have those three teams now in contention for the NFC South divisional title. You could have been ran away with it if you would have won at least two of these games from this losing streak. You ain't had to win all of them, but at least win two of these games in this current losing streak. And you running away with the division at this point. But now you're in a dogfight, and it's because you have this declining quarterback before our very own eyes. Everybody in the stadium, everybody in the city of Atlanta, anybody watching NFL games in real time can see it. Kirk Cousins' body is shutting down and is done. He's over with for the season. You got 500 yards. The Thursday night football, crazy comeback, swag surf. It was beautiful. He said, walk in your trap, take over your trap. That's amazing. It's done for him this season. You got to shut it down. You got to go Michael Penix. I don't even know why I'm wasting breath on this because it's not going to change. We're going into Minnesota next week. So you know the Minnesota Kirk Cousins, you know that homecoming, that entire deal is just going to be, playing Kirk Cousins because it's his homecoming. And that's the way they're marketing it on the commercials. And you're like, oh, Jesus, of course. So that's that. All right. That's the first thing I want to say with the Atlanta Falcons. I don't even know what's going on with that. Second thing I'm gonna say, holiday hoops. Okay, holiday hoops. Some notes from that as you see in the title. LSU, man, LSU, they got it done in Bahamas. A very strong showing there. One of the games they were down by like double digits, I believe. It was to like Washington. It was to Washington, I want to say. And they came all the way back. They win it last second from KG. Caitlin Gilbert hit a nice, crazy, like up and under, tough lay, finger roll and stuff like that to keep LSU's undefeated record and things going. And then people are like, oh, I don't know. They got NC State. That's a ranked opponent. They barely just beat Washington. And before then, they just were playing Southwest Baptist Mississippi Community College. So LSU comes in the next game. They hear all the chatter, and they make no doubt about it. They are LSU still, and they ran the brakes off of NC State that next game. Flau'jae looks amazing this season. She's locked in. Anissa Murrow is really, really, really. Anissa Murrow is having a great season as well this season, this year, and she's trying to solidify her spot in the top 5 of this year's WNBA draft in 2025 to go to Golden State or whoever else is in the top 5. Who else looks really good at LSU? Gilbert, of course, Michaela Williams. That was another one. I think it was the Washington game, the game where they were struggling and everything like that, and they had to come back from 14, and Flau'jae had to save the ball, and Caitlin Gilbert had to grab it and go up and under, finger roll off the glass. That game, Michaela Williams was non-existent. Where's Michaela Williams? APD out on Michaela Williams. She was supposed to be that one, right? She was the number 1, number 2 prospect coming out of high school. She comes in last season. She's one of the best freshmen in the country. Her and Malaysia Fulwiley were 1 and 2 when it come to SEC Freshman of the Year last year. Where's Michaela Williams? Next game, Michaela Williams steps up. Here I am. Oh my goodness. Michaela Williams is a bucket, bro. She reminds me kind of like Klay Thompson. Like it's like, sometimes they go away and you're like, where are they? And other times when they heat up, their heat checks are different. It's like their heat checks are better than 90% of the countries. So Michaela Williams shows up the next game. They blow NC State out the water, and they come back home with some hardware. So that's LSU. And today, Kim Mulkey made some history at the time I'm recording this December 1st. Congratulations to Kim Mulkey on what you've accomplished as well in your career. Sensational career. Speaking of sensational accomplishments and everything like that, South Carolina. So we talked about South Carolina after the loss to UCLA. And so we talked about that and things of that sort. But the next game, South Carolina said, make no doubt about it, versus South Carolina. And between the game, there was a lot of drama on social media. I didn't get to address this or anything like that, but This one South Carolina fan said that they talked to somebody and they said the reason why Malaysia Fulwali wasn't playing in that UCLA game was because like coach like yelled at her to come in the game and she just ignored her or didn't hear her and sat on the bench. So coach called somebody else to come off the bench instead of Fulwali, and that's what happened. And she didn't play for the rest of the game. And then Raven Johnson's mom quote tweeted that and was like, why would you even say this? Like, why would you make this public? Even if this is the truth, like, why would you tweet it out? So that was that. While I'm on this same subject, Flau'jae's mom, in the video that I uploaded about the Flau'jae kind of injury scene, what they got Flau'jae tweeting about who Flau'jae was and stuff like that. A lot of people in the comments were talking about Miss Kia Brooks, the momager, super momager. They were talking about her about like this is her fault. She's stirring this up. She put out a statement like the next day that's like, "Yo, I'm trying to get the money up for everybody, and I know what makes good TV and what makes good TV and what brings in engagement, and a lot of that stuff is rage bait, and a lot of that stuff is working. It's working because it's got people talking, and the numbers and engagement are up. And you take that stuff to business contracts and negotiations, the numbers go up, prices go up. It's unfortunate, but it's just the way that life works. I put up a video. You look on my channel. You know, matter of fact, let's do this. We're gonna share the screen right here, and I'm gonna show y'all what it is, man. Because a lot of people will complain, right, about how things going, but it's almost like they don't want to just acknowledge the reality of the situation. I'm gonna go on my channel here. By the way, if you're new to the channel, this is a road to 5K subs. Ooh wee. Anyways, here's a video I did. Some of my early favorite stories and players of the women's college basketball 2024-2005 season. Crystal Henderson and Harmony Turner. Two of my favorite players and two of my favorite stories, Georgia State / Crystal Henderson over at Georgia State. Crystal Henderson, of course, turned down an offer from South Carolina coming out of high school. She is the younger sister of Scoot Henderson of the Portland Trailblazers. Great college, great high school career, retired her jersey on the spot before she walked the graduation stage. Georgia State, at Georgia State, they beaten Clemson last season. They beaten UGA this season. They face Alabama tomorrow at the time I'm recording this. We'll see what happens on the road at Alabama. Harmony Turner is Rock T from Ricky Smiley Morning Show. That's his daughter. She's at Harvard. But the Joker just had like 41 points a couple weeks ago. That's the game that really put her on the map nationally and stuff like that. Of course, you know, she did the preseason podcast with Howie Magdal and everything like that. Salute to Howie and stuff like that. I was just watching that interview the other day. But she had 27 over Thanksgiving in one of the games. And in that game that she had 27, she hit the game winner. So that was that, right? This junk has 5 views, and it probably has a couple more views because the views that you see here aren't like the actual views. I don't know if you guys know that. That's just a little game. A video about Angel Reese and the life and internet's most important lesson picture without Angel Reese playing basketball or her in the basketball jersey, just looking at her cell phone, has a couple hundred views. It says 181, but it's probably about 200. This video right here, Angel Reese versus Flau'jae, has 1,500 views. So it's like people can say what they want about drama, and like we don't need drama and we don't need that for the attention. We just like the hoops. We want quality hoops. At the end of the day, the numbers speak for himself, bro. I'm speaking about players and trying and highlighting players that aren't the most talked about. You know, they're not the stars. I'm not doing, you know, Skylar Diggins Smith and Angel Reese in a bikini, you know what I'm saying? In every thumbnail and every video. And I said those two players in particular because as I'm looking on my channel, those are just two names that stand out. But yeah, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Every single video. I'm not doing every single video on my channel about Caitlin Clark and throwing Caitlin Clark's name in every title of every video. There's a lot of times, a lot of videos that I've been doing on Angel Reese lately. That's just because Angel Reese has been going viral a lot, and she knows how to go viral. She knows how to play with the internet. She's like Little Nas X when it comes to this basketball stuff. But I say all of this. I say all of this to say, um, I highlight non kind of mainstream players, but players who still have motion and still have unique stories and stuff like that. Only a couple views. I'll talk about stuff that has nothing to do with the game for real, just like the narratives and the drama outside of the game, thousands of views. And this is why people say drama and narratives grow the game. You look at the NBA, you can literally follow the NBA without watching the NBA these days. It's like SGA dresses nicely. Ben Simmons doesn't play. He doesn't play well. Joel Embiid barely plays. He's always hurt. Paul George barely plays. He's always hurt. Anthony Davis had the nickname Street Clothes, even though he's played most of the games in the past 2 seasons. Zion Williamson, you can make the jokes about his weight and the fact that he's in New Orleans with Gumbo, and he doesn't play that much because of his weight and his conditioning. Um, these are all things. Trey Young, the lollipop with the hair thing meme. You can make all of these jokes just by following NBA Twitter. Scotty Barnes being kind of like a silly, kind of goofy big kid who just happens to be an NBA All Star. These are all things that you can follow on NBA Twitter without watching actual basketball or the NBA. And that's what made the NBA that much popular and stuff like that. Are the outside narratives. Larry Magic and Bird, then go into Jordan, then go into the game that we see today. Kobe's, Shaq's, the 2000s era with Jason Kidd. I already said Shaq, Jason Kidd's, Vince Carter's, Tracy McGrady's, Yao Ming, Steve Francis, uh, all of those guys, Dirk Nowitzki's, Jason Terry, Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, Quentin Richardson, Joe Johnson, all of those guys, Chris Paul. I can go down the list. Darren Williams, Marvin Williams, Andrew Bogut, Dwight Howard. You can go down the list of all these guys. Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. But like that's just what it is. Things are ran by stars, narrative driven, and drama is always good TV. It gets the ratings up. That's just the sad reality of it. So yeah. So that's what Flajay's mom is doing. I went on a whole nother rant. I didn't know I would go on there, but it is what it is. Back to holiday hoops. TCU and Notre Dame. So man, first of all, oh yeah. I watched UConn for the first time this season. You know, I didn't watch the first couple games because AZ was out, and I kind of wanted to see the full group. And I seen so AZ's second game was against Ole Miss. Yeah, it was Ole Miss. Ole Miss over there at that tournament. And boy, I tell you, Paige and AZ, bro. Like I said, number one backcourt in the country. And Notre Dame, them jokers ain't too far behind. Olivia Miles and Hidalgo, them jokers ain't too far behind. I tell you, boy. But yeah, man. So I'm watching them. AZ got that strap on her, bro. Flat footed jumper be going in. Paige going crazy, especially with off ball movement. She's just an energizer bunny. You can tell that she was really working out and working on her conditioning this season. Off ball movement and passing has always been strong suits of Paige's game, but I don't know. It just kind of stands out and pops a little more this season so far. And her shooting's always been there. Just kind of overall good player. Always been a solid defender. There's a reason why she is the consensus number one pick of the 2025 WNBA draft. AZ, like I said, good stuff. Ice Brady. Ice Brady is making herself to be a solid rotational player for UConn. Chin, a good player as well. The Caitlin, with the Ivy League transfer, the transfer from Princeton, she's also pretty good. The big there and stuff like that. And they've always had decent 3-point shooting at UConn for the past couple seasons. And Joel always points out to me, I got you. I got you, Arnold. I'm about to bring that up. And what's up, Arnold? Welcome in. It's like 12:44 while I'm recording and stuff like that. So for you to be in here, what's up? Um, yes, they have a decent team, everything like that. Oh, Joel said 3-point shooting. Joel always says with UConn, the key with them is 3-point shooting. If the 3-point shooting can be consistent and above average in the country, they're going to end up in the Final Four. And right now, I think when I look at their 3-point shooting, because I don't even know if Caroline Ducharme's back. If Caroline Ducharme gets back in that lineup, the 3-point shooting is going to be a problem for UConn, bro. They're going to be decent. They're going to be really, really good. So I'm looking at that. And just a lot of nice moves. A lot of nice moves. I took some highlights of it and stuff like that in my phone. But my phone stopped working last night. So technical difficulties on technical difficulties. What can you do? Here we go. Notre Dame from Arnold. Notre Dame just dropped 2 in a row. They can hoop, but they're not that efficient. So yeah, like I said, Olivia Miles and Hannah Hidalgo definitely not that far behind AZ and Page for the number one backcourt in the nation. They're currently number 2. And man, them jokers is cold. So I just watched the TCU game. And like the first half, oh my goodness, they no. This was the second half, but you know the point still stands. Of who is it? Who is it? Hidalgo. Hidalgo throw the ball. Look, this is look crazy. I was looking at this. I'm like, bro, look, man. All right. Anyways, but Hidalgo on a fast break throw the ball behind her head, bro. She not even looking to Olivia Miles on the basket. I was like, oh my goodness, this is the Globetrotters. They was going crazy, bro. And then the next play, a couple possessions later, Hidalgo get a steal. She throw the lead pass over to Sonia Creton. Creton man. Come on, man. Them jokers was going in. I ain't gonna lie to you. They was going in. She hit the 3. She get up to 10 points. All 3 of them jokers in double figure scoring, bro. Man, they a problem, bro. They can move. And when it's all clicking, it's clicking. And then it's like Haley Van Lift, though, when it was clicking, Haley Van Lift was in foul trouble. Cause I was looking at the game, I'm like, how did TCU even win this game? Like, cause like Notre Dame had it on lock. Haley Van Lith was out. She had foul trouble in the first half. She gets in the second half. She gets a little and one, but she started making that figure. She started making that. Can I bet that dog? She started making that face and whatnot, right? So there's that. She starts getting them going emotionally. She gets the team fired up. So Donna Prince really kept them in it in the first half, just kept it within 10 points, around 10 points. Never got too far, never got to 15, 20. You know, it was once a 14-point game, but that's as big as it got. That's as wide as a margin got. So Haley Van Lith gets them started emotionally. Then, hold on, I'm gonna pull up the let me pull up the box score. Then who I believe her like Maddie Connor is her name. Yeah, Maddie Connor, bro. Then she get it going with a couple big threes. Taylor Bigby, she's a college vet, you know what I'm saying, things like that. She did, you know, kind of solid work and stuff like that. 9-4 as you see here. But Maddie Connor got it really going with a couple of them threes. And this joker right here, and Bapu or Nadapu, hey, that joker right there, she was holding it down, bro. On the paper, she only got 8 points, 2 rebounds, but she made a huge difference on the glass and just energy overall in that game, hustle points in that game to really get them going. As you see, Hidalgo, Miles, Creton, the big 3 did what they had to do. But watching that game, it really looked like they had a big 3 and that's it. You know, I know they're dealing with some injuries and stuff like that now. So maybe the injuries, but you know, I think for Notre Dame, really, they're probably going to have to figure it out outside of the big 3 at some point. But in college, you can kind of get away with being like top heavy in college. You know what I'm saying? Like they're probably gonna have to work on that lack of depth going into conference play into the postseason. So, but that's what I see with them. And those were just some of the salute to Arnold once again, man. Those were just some of the things that I saw uh this holiday break with hoops and things of that sort. Georgia State did pretty well. They only dropped one game in the break. They had like kind of 3-4 games back to back. at their home arena leading up to Thanksgiving, and on Thanksgiving Day they played as well, and they won all but one of those games. So the Georgia State as well. And that's it. Those are all my Thanksgiving break notes. Salute. Speaking of saluting, I want to shout out Cenat. The reason why I even got on stream tonight, I was gonna wait until the morning when I was watching the TCU game, because I was like, oh, I'll watch the TCU game. I can even watch the second Notre Dame game that they lost to Utah. I haven't watched the Utah game yet. Um, I heard, Tommy. Shout out to Tommy. He told me that Utah, they just shoot the ball very well, like they can shoot threes and stuff like that. So I don't know much about their roster outside of like last year. Obviously, like Peely was the anchor and she was the face of the program and the team. So like now that she's gone, like the dinner is it goes over my head. But yeah. I was like, oh, I'm gonna just stream in the morning. But Kai was one of the reasons, like consuming so much content this past month of watching Kai's subathon, mafiathon throughout the month, and then watching Deshae Frost tonight start his subathon off with Orlando Brown and stuff like that. It just kind of motivated me, like I gotta get on, I gotta get back on it. You know what I'm saying? Before I fall back too much. And it was a couple new people that I subscribed to on here that I wanted to shout out to that like uploads every day, bro. And I'm like, yo, they work hard. Here she is. I'm gonna shout her out right now. She works hard, bro. And I just subscribed to her like yesterday. She left apparently she was a former she was a veteran. So thank you for your service. But Geneva in general, bro. Look at this, bro. She got a video 3 hours ago, 8 hours ago, 1 day ago. This is she uploads at least 2 videos a day. That is not easy. That is not easy, bro. So salute to Geneva. But just seeing people like that that's just working hard motivated me. I met Kai obviously a few times here in Atlanta. You guys have seen him on the channel featured when I covered the basketball league and stuff like that. Humble guy is always, like, regardless how big he gets and how many people swarm him in public and in America and stuff like that, he's still like Kai. Like he's still just a humble kid and stuff like that. Like you saw it in the video he uploaded after the subathon when he said, my goal is to break the record at 300,000, whatever it was, and then potentially get to 400,000. This guy gets to 728,000. Crazy. Salute to Kai Cenat, bro. But I wanted to shout him out for his creativity and just believing anything's possible. One thing that I saw that was kind of messed up with that mindset was there was a lot of times where he kind of put people in harm's way. Like particularly with Bryce. When Bryce James came on stream and they went outside the hoop, he was like pressing for like one-on-one matchup and to play basketball. I'm like, Bryce James is a prospect. Like he's 3 stars coming off the bench as a senior at Sierra Canyon. He literally needs to stay healthy. He needs every bit of his health to continue his college career, to continue his basketball career, period. Or it's over at this point. And and Kyle was just like, I don't care. Play basketball. Play the game. And Kevin Hart had to shut it down. I'm so glad that Kevin was there to just be the brains and be like, yo, like this is not smart. He's playing in the rain. And it's not like a playing in the rain, you're tough. It's playing in the rain. If you slip, you could be out for an extended period of time during his senior season as a 3-star coming off the bench. This is huge. I don't care if you're LeBron James' son. That matters. And so like that never say never attitude. It was another point where Kai was sick, literally sick, coughing up blood in the middle of the month, and his friends come over. Phantom comes over and tells him, like, maybe you should sleep this night without the speakers and just get some rest and restore yourself so you can finish the month off strong. He says, no, we're continuing. And you know what I'm saying? That you can grind so hard and go so much and do so much and be the richest or the so-and-sos that, like, Childish Gambino said it best. He said, I'm here for a good, not a long time. And it's like, if that's the route you want to go, fine, be my guest. If you just want to go 40, 50, because 50 years, because you were just going so hard and you weren't sleeping and you weren't prioritizing your health, be my guest. But Slow and steady always wins the race. If you want to live to see your grandkids and your great grandkids or your great nieces and great all that and stuff like that, slow it up. And it's okay to slow up every now and again. Bro, this little thing is bothering me. It's from the do-rag, but it's bothering me every time I bend down. So yeah. Salute to Kai Cenat. Work hard, never give up. Thank you for inspiring so many people around the world, Kai. You are a great inspiration to everybody. I salute you. And shout out to Speed as well, doing his thing. Aiden is gonna be interesting to see where he goes when he returns. It's looking like he's gonna go back to Twitch. And shout out to your Rage as well, returning to the entire space too. Is there anything else on that? I think that's it. All right, so I'm about to watch this MTV Crib scene. I see 3 people in here. If y'all want me to answer any basketball questions, I'll answer them. Right now, I'm about to look at this random video about MTV Cribs being fake. Well, when MTV Cribs, it was on when I was a kid. I always thought it was the craziest thing in the world. And 50 Cent had the craziest crib. That's the one crib I remember the most, bro. Because he had it was like a 50 bedroom crib, 30 bathrooms. It was something stupid like that. And then his garage was like a car dealership. So it's crazy that he's like the voice or the thumbnail picture on both of these things. All right, here we go. We about to watch this junk. Shout out to Sunny V2. I'm about to thumbs up your stuff and subscribe. All right.
Ferraris, they were rented. Robbie Williams' castle home, it belonged to someone else. MTV Cribs wasn't exactly legit.
And we said that that was my house.
Oh, that wasn't your house?
No, it's all lies.
And nothing shows this better than the episode with Ja Rule. He flexed his 5-bedroom mansion on Star
remember they
Island
said
in
the Ja
Miami,
Rule one was
where he
fake.
talked about living beside other famous celebrities. The house was so familiar that Ja Rule named each area, calling his courtyard the Open Paradise, which was patrolled by his guard dog Cookie. It was shown in the intro that the property was a rental, but this was assumed to be on a long-term basis, given he knew almost everything about the mansion. However, as it turns out, Ja Rule's house on Cribs was actually a 4-day rental, which was exposed in the most...
Hey, wait, hold on. Before we continue with the Ja Rule thing, because didn't Ja Rule have the Five Fest or whatever and stuff like that? That's crazy. Ja Rule's got a crazy track record. With JoJo. It was one time last year we had a Friendsgiving and we did karaoke after we ate and laughed and stuff like that. And we was having a good time, a good old time. And a girl whose crib it was, she's like, oh, I want to go next. And she plays a song and it's JoJo, Get Out. Get out right now. It's the end of you. And she just looks at us. She don't even sing it. If anything, she just sang the Get Out. And she kind of looks at us and goes, Get out. I said, are you kicking us out the house? It was a crazy way to kick us out the house. Anyways.
embarrassing way by lawsuit. Ja Rule paid $46,000 for the 4-day lease, promising the mansion's owner it'd be used as a private home for 8 adults with no video shoots and no loud parties. Well, Ja Rule broke all 3 conditions, shooting his MTV episode whilst having a party with over 600 people. In the process, holes were punched in the walls, furniture and doors were damaged, the driveway somehow cracked, while condoms and syringes were left throughout the house. As a result, Ja Rule and MTV were sued for $1 million, but at least it looked like a house that Ja Rule would live in, as the Yin Yang Twins' crib was laughably out of character. The Atlanta gangster rapping duo opened the door revealing the most suburban house, filled with fish tanks, sailing boats, and sea-related artwork.
We waving like the sea. We decorated this ourselves now.
That mansion was definitely decorated by some old white people, not the Yin Yang Twins.
This is clearly just a random old white guy's house that likes to fish and likes boats.
That even argue over where they bought appliances and had to improvise names for each of the fish. You can tell the Yin Yang Twins have never been in that house. It seemed they...
Hey, and Yin Yang created one of them created the Bankhead Bounce, the one that Michael Jackson did. Fun fact.
least owned the vehicles at the end, as the cars displayed by Bow Wow were rented for the show. He was just 18 years old during his first Cribs appearance, but despite having starred in some high-profile movies, it seemed unrealistic that he could afford a 6-bedroom mansion.
Stop that. Bow Wow can afford a 6-bedroom mansion, bro. Bow Wow at 18, they said just 18. That was like the peak of Bow Wow's career. That's like literally Bow Wow starts to go down, bro. Like Bow Wow by that point already did the album, already co-signed by Snoop, already co-signed by Jermaine Dupri, already done toured the world, already done did Like Mike, already did Roll Bounce at that point at 18, already had Fresh as I'm is. I think at this point, like, I don't know, this is probably around the time of Let Me Love You, like going into that era, his last couple hits and stuff like that.
And a fleet of luxury cars. With his name airbrushed above his bed, it seemed as though Bow Wow at least owned the house, although the luxury vehicles were a little more suspicious, because 2 years later he'd go on the show again, during which a viewer made an observation. We had
Ain't this the one? So they say he rented his cars. Bow Wow also had the Bow Wow challenge where he was like getting on the PJ and someone found out that it was just a Google image thing that he pulled up.
TV Cribs running in the background and watched 21-year-old Bow Wow show off his bachelor pad in Miami, along with his pimped out Bentley, Lamborghini, and Cadillac Escalade. But then we noticed the word Prestige at the bottom of all 3 cars and decided to Google Prestige Rental Cars Miami, and what do you know, there it was. Prestige was the name of the company that Bow Wow rented the cars
That is some extreme hating to do that Google search, but I respect it.
from, which was likely encouraged by the show, as Birdman also used the service during his appearance. Regardless, people clowned on Bow Wow, stating, "Ha ha ha, I wonder if he rented the condo too," which by looking at his life was also highly likely. For example, he'd post his Ferrari to his Instagram, writing, "Take the drop top to the night spot. Keep the California in California. We went hard tonight, Grammy weekend," which was then reposted by a car rental company who accidentally exposed our good friend Bow Wow pulling up to the Grammys with our Ferrari California. 1 year later, he was exposed for flexing a rented Hollywood mansion, but the worst example was in 2017 when he'd post this to his Instagram.
There it is.
He showed the private jet he was taking to his concert, yet the very same day this Snapchat went viral. So this guy Lil Bow Wow is on my flight to NY, but on Instagram he posted a picture of a private jet caption traveling to NY today. Shaking my head. Turns out Bow Wow's picture of his private jet had been taken from a limo company's website, prompting people to dig even deeper, discovering he'd done this on more than one occasion. It seems his MTV Cribs episode led to years and years of faking luxury, but as mentioned in Bow Wow's expose, 50 Cent had done a similar thing. 50 Cent's episode was the definition of excess. He showed his 19-bedroom, 35-bathroom mansion, which included a squash court, movie theater, recording studio, and its very own nightclub. Equally impressive was his car collection, which included 4 different rare collectible Ferraris, leading him to state,
I know you ain't see these before when you was watching Cribs because everybody ain't got these.
Yet it seems 50 Cent didn't have them either. Each Ferrari had little numbers on their windshields, leading to a forum post reading, "If you notice the small white numbers in the top left-hand corner of the windshields on the F50 and Enzo, those are the numbers of the cars that were in the Hartford Concorso parade," which was confirmed when the user posted these photos. Another forum member added, "It's pretty obvious that they aren't his, because it's a known fact that there's only one yellow Enzo in CT, which was owned by a pretty well-known hedge fund manager." Well, someone else then officially confirmed. The Ferraris are unfortunately not 50 Cent's. He invited my friend over to his house for this, and my friend let him use his cars for the episode, and they were filming some music videos that day as well. The Enzo F50 and 599 all belonged to one owner. When 50 Cent later filed for bankruptcy, he'd admit the cars were rented. He'd instead pay off debts by selling his mansion, therefore joining the likes of JoJo, who admitted to doing MTV Cribs while she was actually homeless. JoJo showed MTV.
What? Yo, I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy. That one I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming.
TV through her Cape Cod vacation home, where she supposedly loved spending her summers. It was therefore a little weird that she'd invite her extended family.
How is JoJo? I'm sorry for pausing if you're watching this live. How is JoJo homeless? Like she was popping. Like she was on Disney Channel. Like, you know what I'm saying? How is JoJo homeless?
But she'd reveal the reason for this exactly 10 years later. JoJo was asked about the episode in a Huffington Post interview, to which she'd respond, "It was so ridiculous. The thing is, we didn't have a home at that point. My mum and I were living out of suitcases and were mostly in hotels. So that was actually my uncle."
So she's saying she's okay. So she wasn't homeless because she was broke. She was like without a home. She didn't buy a home because she was always on the road.
House on the Cape. That wasn't my house, that wasn't my stuff. I should have balled hard and been like, "Welcome to my crib, look at how luxurious it is," and I should have rented out a place. But no, I just used my uncle's crib. JoJo further clarified.
So we went to the Cape, which I've never been to the Cape. I never go to the Cape. And we said that was my house.
Oh, that wasn't your house?
No, that was not my house. We brought in some items that I had. It's all lies.
Should also answer the question.
Why even bother doing the episode then?
For the exposure.
Oh, okay.
But no episode was faker than the one by Robbie Williams. He showed MTV his massive British castle, talking about the spots where he'd been snapped by paparazzi. He then shows his group of friends before making a joke.
I don't really know these people, but what I do is I actually phone Rent-A-Friend.
But apparently he'd also phoned Rent-A-Castle. You see, the building was so big that people recognized it as the famous St. Catherine's Court, which was owned by someone else completely, Jane Seymour. She had no idea that Robbie ever went there or that he'd hired a fake butler to help out with the shoot. It wouldn't be until 17 years later that Robbie finally admitted, "We didn't let Jane know that I was gonna pretend it was my house. And because I was 23 and full of spunk, I didn't even consider other people's thoughts or feelings. So I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to Jane Seymour, but it might not have even been Robbie Williams' fault. Because Redman explained in a DJ Vlad interview that MTV tried to get him to rent a house for cribs.
They wanted me to rent a house so I could open the big double doors and shit like, yo, look at my shit, you know.
With MTV trying to choose the home themselves.
The first thing they said was, "All right, we got a couple of houses picked out for you."
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Well, Redman simply refused.
And I said, you know what? No, I don't want to rent a house. I want y'all to come to my house.
Accidentally making the show's most relatable episode. He brought MTV cribs to his 2-bedroom apartment where he ironed his shirts on the floor and flexed his frozen fish fillets. Redman's recording studio was just a messy bedroom, whilst the rest of his house was in such disarray, you could barely notice his cousin sleeping on the ground. He concludes the episode stating, "Next time y'all need to find me, just rub these 2 wires for the doorbell."
Don't worry about the screen too. You know it's still good.
The realest episode of MTV Cribs. Redman didn't fake it like other celebrities.
All right, cool. I was waiting to say stuff. So here we go. So one thing that Cam the Artisan said, shout out to Cam the Artisan, he was just on channel about a week ago. But in one interview, they asked him, "What do you wish that rappers would stop doing?" And he said, "Stop lying about how much money they're actually making." And this is Cam, this is like an underground independent artist, that gets a couple of business deals and promo deals and advertisements each year. He's been on Sprite campaign, the different other campaigns and stuff like that, TV show placements and stuff. But, he's still pretty underground and still independent. You know what I'm saying? He's not the TDEs and all the other names that you want to name and stuff like that. And he said, "Stop lying about the money you're making." So imagine at the major level, people still lying about how much they're making. In particular, why does Bow Wow feel like he need to flex? Bow Wow, you were Bow Wow, bro. You're Bow Wow. Like, I remember when I interviewed him and I told him, I'll insert that clip in here if I could do it. About me just saying, like, bro, like, I looked up to you. Like, you inspired an entire generation of kids that wanted to be like you. All the girls wanted you at that age and stuff like that. You were like the Black Justin Bieber. And so for him to feel like kind of almost insecure to the point where he wanted to sell this lifestyle of who Bow Wow was for years and years, and still, even to this day, he does some stuff where it's just like, bro, like you don't have to do this. Like you're Bow Wow, bro. Um, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of strange and it's sad. I remember I interviewed Bass Swag. You can look at that Bass Swag interview up here. And Bass Swag is he wasn't really saying much to me at the beginning of the interview. Like it took him, I had to figure out throughout the interview, like it's like chess doing interviews sometimes with people when they're not talking, of what's gonna get them to like talk, of like hitting that gold mine and getting the rush or whatever once you hit it. Hey yo. But with him, you know, before I got there, I'm just poking around. He's giving me short answers, one word answers, two word answers. And one thing he said was in the middle of it while I'm asking questions back to back. He just goes, "Yeah, I got 2 carat on my wrist." And he's changed, you know, doing this jury round. I'm trying to ask questions. He's like, "I'm trying to pop it right now. What is we talking about? I'm trying to pop it." And you know, so then he said, "I don't really like the flashy stuff." So I was like, "So why do you have on flashy stuff?" He said, "I'm an artist. I have to sell the lifestyle, sell the thing." Like, do you like J. Cole didn't have it? He's like, J. Cole did it first. And I was like, yeah, you make a good point. And we had an entire discussion about that. I don't know what the purpose is to sell a over the top, exaggerated luxury lifestyle. I don't get the point of that. I get wanting to live an abundant lifestyle and things of that sort, but why lie about it? You know what I'm saying? And the people that actually have it, like someone like a Tyler the Creator, where he said he used to lie about the cars and money and stuff and deals that he was making before he was having it. Now that he has it, he pops it a little bit, but it's not over the top every single song and just like get my money and change. It's not annoying. And I don't know why people are so obsessed with that idea. I might even get why a celebrity will rent a crib for cribs, you know, because you can flex it and it's not your property, so people can't come on your property and, you know, ABC. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, dude, it's never been that serious. Like, you trying to impress a bunch of strangers, you trying to stunt on like haters and the opposition and stuff like that who really don't really care about you. They really just trying to get more money for themselves. And then you have kids that's like literally killing to get to the spot that you're at, you know, and stuff like that. And will do anything for that spot. And you're portraying a fake image. So when they get up there, it's not even what they thought it would be. And it's just it's all that stuff. I don't know, man. Flexing is crazy. Cause it's like I think it's cool to pop it and to flex with stuff that's actually going on. Like Flage is literally one of the best players in college basketball right now. And her song with Lil Wayne, first of all, she's got a song with Lil Wayne while she's still in college in Louisiana and performed it at the Smoothie King Center before going back to play at Baton Rouge and being a top 5 player in college basketball this season. Not only that, with Flage, everything she says, bro, is the truth, bro. You can see the numbers and what she's getting in NIL. You can see what she's doing on the court. You can see where she's projected to go in the WNBA draft. And you saw her perform her song with Lil Wayne on the stage with Lil Wayne at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. And you hear the song, I was saying that to get to this point, being used as promo for the Super Bowl coming to New Orleans. It doesn't get bigger than that in America. So when she pop it, she's backing it up with facts. And that's all I want, bro. It's like if you're gonna pop it and flex and ooh, that's cool to do all of those things, but like just make sure that you're up there first before you do it. That's all I'm saying. My name is Rashad Milligan. This is the Road to 5K subs. I appreciate the support so much. I love you all. I promise, bro. I promise, boy. On me, boy. Hey, look. I love you, boy. I love you, girl. I love you, sis. I love you, king. I love you, queen. I love you, binary. Hey, forever. Y'all be easy, man. Until next time.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
And Rashad Milligan rolling out.
Good question. Brandon, we can't ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.